Omar woke with a gasp, sweat clung to his skin, the nightmare lingered, a cold dread in his gut. He saw the old house shrouded in mist. He saw flickering candles, heard whispers in the dark. These dreams, vivid and unsettling, had plagued him for weeks. He rose from his bed, each movement heavy with exhaustion. The city outside his window slept, a tapestry of shadows under the pale moonlight. Omar found solace in the silence, a stark contrast to the cacophony within his mind. The dreams felt real, the fear palpable. They tugged at him, beckoning him to a place he couldn't quite grasp. Each night the same images returned with chilling clarity. The old house, always the house, its decaying grandeur both alluring and terrifying. He felt an inexplicable pull towards it, a sense of foreboding growing stronger with each passing dream. Omar tried to shake off the lingering fear. He told himself they were just dreams, figments of his imagination. But deep down, a seed of unease had been sown, whispering that something sinister lurked beneath the surface of his subconscious. Days turned into weeks, the dreams growing more vivid. He started seeing fragments of places he'd never been. An old antique shop, its sign barely visible, filled with strange and unsettling objects. A cobblestone street, eerily empty, bathed in an unnatural yellow light. One morning, he woke with a jolt. A name echoed in the silence: Saeed. His childhood friend, long gone, lost to time and circumstance. Saeed's face, pale and drawn, flickered in his mind's eye. He could almost hear his friend's voice, a desperate plea lost to the wind. Driven by a force he couldn't explain, Omar began to seek out the places from his dreams. The city, once familiar, now felt like a labyrinth full of hidden paths and forgotten corners. He felt an unnerving sense of being watched, of being led on a macabre treasure hunt orchestrated by his own subconscious. The line between dream and reality blurred. Omar found himself drawn to antique shops, his fingers tracing the contours of old, forgotten objects. Each one seemed to whisper a silent story, their whispers weaving a tapestry of fear and anticipation. The city, once a source of comfort, transformed into a menacing entity. Every shadow seemed to hold a hidden menace, every corner a potential gateway to his nightmares. Omar felt a constant, gnawing fear, a feeling of being hunted by something he couldn't see. He found the cobblestone street from his dream, tucked away in the oldest part of the city. The gaslights cast long dancing shadows, just as they had in his dream. An unsettling stillness hung in the air, broken only by the sound of his own footsteps echoing on the pavement. As he ventured deeper into the labyrinthine streets, he felt a presence behind him. Turning quickly, he saw nothing. But the feeling persisted, a cold breath on his neck. The whispers in his dreams intensified, urging him forward, deeper into the heart of the city's darkness. Fear warred with a strange sense of purpose. He had to find the house from his dreams, the source of the whispers, the key to understanding the terror that gripped his soul. The antique shop stood on a street corner, shrouded in shadow. Its sign, barely hanging, creaked in the wind. The windows, caked in dust, offered a glimpse into the cluttered interior. Omar felt a chill as he stepped inside, the air thick with the scent of decay and forgotten things. He ran his fingers along a dusty shelf, his eyes scanning the bizarre collection. Old dolls with vacant eyes stared back at him. A tarnished silver hand mirror reflected his own distorted image, his face pale and drawn. He felt a presence beside him, cold and unseen. Then he saw it, an old, leather-bound book tucked away in a dark corner. Its cover was devoid of any markings, yet he felt an inexplicable pull towards it. His hand trembled as he reached out, his fingers brushing against its cold, rough surface. As he opened the book, a musty odor wafted up, causing him to cough. The pages were filled with handwritten entries, the ink faded and brown. The words were in a language he couldn't understand, yet they seemed to writhe on the page, whispering his name. That night, the dream returned with a vengeance. He saw Saeed, his face gaunt, his eyes wide with terror. He was trapped in the old house, his voice a desperate whisper echoing through the empty halls. "Omar! The mirrors! Beware!" Omar woke with a gasp, the echo of Saeed's voice ringing in his ears. The dream felt different this time, more urgent, laced with a palpable sense of danger. Saeed's warning reverberated in his mind. "The mirrors! Beware!" Driven by a renewed sense of urgency, Omar set out to find the house from his dreams. He felt drawn to it, guided by an invisible hand. The book from the antique shop lay heavy in his bag, its presence both comforting and unsettling. He couldn't shake the feeling that he was walking towards his destiny, towards a truth he wasn't ready to face. The city seemed to conspire against him, leading him down winding alleys and across deserted squares. He felt a constant, watchful presence, a sense of being followed, of being herded towards his destination. Fear gnawed at his resolve, but he pressed on, compelled by the pleas from his dreams. The house loomed before him, a skeletal silhouette against the dying light. It was just as he had seen it in his dreams, every detail etched into his memory. The air around it felt heavy, stagnant, as if the house itself was holding its breath. With a deep breath, Omar pushed open the creaking gate and walked up the overgrown path. The door yielded with a groan, revealing a dark and dusty interior. Silence greeted him, a silence so profound it felt like a living presence. He moved through the house cautiously, each step echoing in the stillness. Cobwebs clung to his face and dust swirled around his feet. The air was thick with the smell of decay, the scent of time and neglect. He felt a presence here, a sense of unseen eyes watching his every move. He found a trapdoor hidden beneath a threadbare rug. With trembling hands, he pried it open, revealing a set of rickety stairs leading down into darkness. A cold draft wafted up, carrying with it the faint scent of damp earth and something else, something metallic and vaguely unsettling. The air in the basement was thick and cold, heavy with the weight of forgotten years. A single flickering light bulb cast long, distorted shadows on the damp walls. Omar descended slowly, each creak of the stairs echoing in the oppressive silence. The basement was a single cavernous room, its far wall hidden in darkness. As his eyes adjusted, he saw them. Mirrors, dozens of them, of all shapes and sizes, covered every inch of the far wall. Some were ornate, with gilded frames, others simple and utilitarian. They reflected the flickering light, creating a dizzying, fragmented reality. He stepped closer, mesmerized and repulsed. His reflection stared back at him from 1,000 angles, each one slightly distorted, as if the mirrors themselves were alive, twisting his image. He felt a cold dread seep into his bones, a sense of wrongness that sent shivers down his spine. As he stood there, surrounded by his fragmented reflection, he heard it again. Saeed's voice, a faint whisper seeming to emanate from the mirrors themselves. "Beware, the mirrors steal." The words hung in the air, heavy with warning and despair. Omar reached out, his hand trembling, and touched the surface of the nearest mirror. A jolt of energy, cold and sharp, shot up his arm, causing him to recoil in pain. The room seemed to spin, the reflections in the mirrors swirling around him like a whirlpool. He stumbled back, his heart pounding in his chest. The room seemed to be closing in on him, the mirrors pressing closer, their reflections becoming increasingly distorted, grotesque. He felt himself being pulled forward, drawn inexorably towards the heart of the mirrored wall. He tried to turn away to escape the hypnotic pull of the mirrors, but it was too late. The reflections reached out, tendrils of light and shadow, and wrapped around him, pulling him into their cold embrace. He cried out, his voice swallowed by the silence, his image disappearing into the mirrored depths. The flickering light bulb sputtered and died, plunging the room into darkness. The silence returned, heavy and absolute, broken only by the faint rustling of unseen things. The mirrors remained, cold and reflective, their secrets hidden in the darkness. The old house stood silent, its secrets locked within its decaying walls. The basement remained undisturbed, the mirrors reflecting nothing but darkness. Omar was gone, vanished without a trace. Days turned into weeks, and still, there was no sign of him. The police investigation yielded nothing, his disappearance as baffling as it was sudden. The house, deemed unsafe, was boarded up, left to the elements and the whispers of its past. But the nightmares didn't end. Others started to dream of the old house, of the basement full of mirrors, and of a voice whispering a chilling warning. Beware the mirrors. They steal what you hold dear. They reflect your deepest fears. And they never let go. The city, once oblivious, now held its breath, haunted by the whispers of the mirrors and the unsettling disappearance of Omar. The antique shop remained, its shelves still filled with strange and unsettling objects, a silent testament to the darkness that lurked beneath the surface of the everyday.